Fremantle, they're in another whole league after beating the top two teams in the last 2 weeks, and they gave up 3 of the first 4 goals in the game against Brisbane. It looked like it was being played on Brisbane's terms, but after that, they were just superb. Yeah, awesome. And, you have to take your hat off to them. A couple of big wins the last couple of weeks. Defence first. They do everything that success says should follow when you look at their profile now. I was worried about 3-4 weeks ago, get beat by Collingwood. Who are they? What's the real Fremantle? You have to love the way they're playing. You really have to admire the acquisition of Brodie into the middle. And I just want to show some vision of... We talk about leg drivers, guys that can get out of stoppage, get out of traffic themselves. And it does change the whole profile of just winning clearance. There are clearances and there are clearances. Like this here, to break into space and then get yourself free, forward handball, you generally get something positive out of that. It's not the surge dump kick forward that's inevitably a turnover and then you have to defend. Look at this. I haven't seen him do that before. Drive through traffic like that. And then all of a sudden you're out pure. And this is probably the best one of the lot. So whilst he has 10 clearances, and he's had 10 clearances before, but not like that. So they changed the course of the game. It's not perfect. It never is. But if you can stay with that aggressive mindset, I think you go from just being a clearance player to an absolute adventurous, leg-driving, tackle-breaking machine. So look at the scores from stoppages there. 58 points to 25. That's a huge result for Fremantle without Nathan Fyfe.
Yeah, and I praised Brayshaw and Brodie for their third quarter against Melbourne last week and how dominant they were, and they did it again. Brayshaw was unbelievable again, and then Sarong as well today. So that midfield
Sarong's hands were superb.
Yeah, so they're going awesome.
They are, and they've also made a change, haven't they, with Griffin Logue? We saw it last week to designate to play on Stephen May, and then he went off injured, but he stayed there anyway.
Yeah, I think they've accidentally found themselves a genuine forward that can stay in the forward line. So we know he just doesn't fit in their best back 7, which is quite amazing because he's a very accomplished defender in his own right. But they've had to move him forward to keep him in the side. And today, he showed what he's capable of. Like, he's got natural forward ability for a guy that's never played there. And in the last 2 games, he's taken 7 contested marks playing as a forward. So that's a real weapon. We know he's got a beautiful left kick. And not only that, he's got athleticism. So he can pressure. He's got that defender's mindset about him, so he can do both sides of the ball. And it's going to be hard to get him out of there now. I think he's shown his hand that he can be a player that can stay in the forward line. And it's no coincidence they were struggling for a while with their scoring. In the last 2 weeks since he's gone there, they've kicked 92 points and 99 points. He's just helped them function better. He's taken a bit of the load off Rory Lobb. Of course, Tabernar not playing. It's made a big difference. I think it's been a real find that they aren't going to stick with.
And he could have kicked another one earlier in the game when he let the ball bounce on the goal line as well, and it went back the wrong way. We can't miss Michael Frederick, though, can we?
We've loved watching him, his development this year, and we watched him and tracked him, and his work rate is often unrewarded. I don't think the Fremantle players know exactly what they've got in their hands here as an asset. His work rate is unreal. And if he gets a match-up that he can enjoy, Daniel Rich today, he was put to the sword by this guy time and time again. And this is a fat side switch. They leg drive out of stoppage. All of a sudden, he's out and gone. Look at Daniel Rich. He can't go with him. He can't. So you've got a small asset that they didn't utilise every time today, and they've hardly utilised through the course of the season. He finishes with 3 goals, 18 disposals, 7 scoring involvements. That's a pretty special day. But look at this. He takes off here, off Daniel Rich, and says, hey, I'm gone. Look at him there. Now, this guy's going to have a day where he's going to kick 6 because he's getting matchups that can't go. That's the one you're talking about. But if he chips that to Frederick, that's the easiest of goals. Yeah. Same thing again here. Look, Rich can't go with him. He just can't. He breaks your heart. He takes the will. It's directly from you, and I think that this guy is the wild card they need as a forward. They've got a lot of pressure small forwards, but they don't have not many teams have got a guy like this. An absolute elite runner, a spark, a beautiful finisher too.
I was going to say, his confidence in front of goal, both that one and the set shot, there was just bang, straight through. Nice, so great point. I don't think anyone could have anticipated, even at you guys at your very best, that Bailey Banfield would have kicked 4 goals today. Playing that role up forward, it was terrific. This is a guy who's on the edge of selection. He only gets a game if there's an injury or two. Often the sub. I think he's been pretty much named every week playing as the sub, but doesn't mean he plays every week. Well, he kicked 4 today in his 50th game for the club in his 5th season. And have a listen to how he explained his role and how he just stays ready when he gets the opportunity.
It's got to have an irrational confidence at times. When you're in and out of the side, there's a lot of evidence that sort of tells you you're not good enough. You got to just keep believing, keep going. So it was nice that it all came together today.
I know a lot of golfers who have irrational confidence. But what a
awesome.
terrific explanation, isn't it?
That's great.
And they just reward role players, and he just plays his role. He always applies pressure. He competes as a medium-sized forward down there, and that's why he keeps getting a game. It was like Frederick early in the year. He wasn't getting big numbers, but was playing his role, and eventually you get rewarded.
They got a problem, Brisbane, and they know it. Let's have a listen to Chris Fagan in the pre-match.
We expect them to continue the way that they have, and we've worked pretty hard on our defence this week. It's interesting. Hopefully, we sort of feel pretty confident in our ability to score. Our major challenge each week is to make sure our blokes don't just think about that and concentrate on the other parts of the game occasionally too.
Occasionally too. I thought they were pretty strong words. No doubt that had been reiterated to the group in the pre-match or during the week. And again, they failed today. In that third quarter, they were made to look foolish down back. I don't know where Harris Andrews is at the moment. Marcus Adams' form has really tailed off. Daniel Rich is getting exposed
Darcy
again.
Gardner got hurt.
Darcy Gardner has got some sort of rib issue that might hang around for a while. We talked about Birchall and Rich last year, the speed issue. It was highlighted today so vividly for all of us to see. So, I'm looking to see the next couple of weeks. Got St Kilda, who are pretty slick with ball in hand, and then a bye, and then back for Melbourne. So we find out who Brisbane really are, I think, in the next fortnight. If they don't fix this back six issue, they're in massive trouble. You can't fail defensively in this competition. It's the one reason why Fremantle where they are, Geelong are where they are, and Melbourne where they were. And Brisbane right now is short of the mark.
Yep. And they finished the season with Richmond, Carlton and then St Kilda and Melbourne again. So they'll certainly need to get going again soon, that's for sure. All right, we'll take a break. We'll get going, but not for long. We'll talk Melbourne and that great win by the Swans. But don't forget the Couch. They'll be analysing all the big issues as well. 6:30 or 8:30 if you're a little later home. In between them, it's Coach's Night as always. AFL 360 with Jared and Robbo. Triumphant Justin Longmuir and also Craig McRae. A great night to hear from them.